So I thought it was a good idea to read Reddit stories while I build my new house in Minecraft. You are more than welcome to listen along and fall asleep. So the story is titled, Am I the A-hole for leaving my best friend's birthday party early because I was a B-list guest? Throwaway for privacy. Though this is a pretty specific incident, and anyone who knows this situation will probably be able to identify me anyway. I'm a 29-year-old female and have been good friends with Sally, 30-year-old female, since we were 8 years old. We were inseparable throughout school, but we went to different colleges. I visited her a few times each year. She'd visit me, and we'd always meet up at Christmas and summer breaks. After we graduated, I moved about a 3 hour drive from where she moved to. We still caught up often. As normally happens, we established our new professional and social lives, drifted apart, but whenever we caught up, it was like no time had passed. We were there for each other whenever we needed it. When she got married at 25, I was a bridesmaid. I declined maid of honor because I was concerned with the long commute. I couldn't do all the MOH duties required/expected. She drove to my place to support me when my father had a stroke. I stayed with her when she found out her ex-husband cheated and filed for divorce. I always figured out that even though life is taking us in different directions, we're always there for each other. Now to her birthday. She turned 30 last week and had a huge party this past weekend. Since it was a milestone birthday, she had it at a banquet hall, all catered, DJ, etc. It was at night, so I booked a hotel and drove up, and then would drive back home at the end of the day. When I arrived, I was ushered into a small room with 4 tables and about 10 other people. There was a portable TV on a trolley with a stream of the party in the bigger room. One of the guests told me Sally invited more than the main hall could accommodate, and she hoped after a few people RSVP'd no, we'd all fit in. But only 1 or 2 people RSVP'd no, so the venue opened a second room for the excess guests. I saw on the stream new people arriving after I did, so I knew I clearly registered to the B-lister room and wasn't brought there because the main room was already filled up. So I left after 15 minutes and took my gift with me. The next day, as I was preparing to check out the hotel, Sally called and asked why I didn't show up. Apparently, she came to the leftovers room to mingle about 30 minutes after I left and noticed I wasn't there. I told her I attended, but I didn't realize I'd be watching a stream of her party instead of attending it, which I could have done at home. She asked if I wanted to catch up for lunch, and I can give her my gift then. But I told her I needed to go back home because I had plans for the afternoon. Cue the Instagram story about how people who claim to love her don't show up. She can't help that so many people wanted to celebrate her. During my drive home, her mother left a voicemail that she was very disappointed in me. But I'm here like, I'm supposed to be one of your best friends, and I got the leftover experience. Did I overreact? Am I the a-hole here? This next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for getting divorced as soon as my last kid was out of the house? I should have listened to my dad before I got married, but I was 18 and I knew everything. I was in love and I was going to be with her no matter what. We got married, we got jobs, we had 2 kids. My wife's family helped us with everything. My family was as supportive as they could be, but we sidelined them. We spent all our holidays with my wife's family. Both kids' birthday parties were held at my in laws, and my parents were invited as a courtesy. We both worked and raised the kids, but as time went on, there were 2 groups in our home. Her and the kids were one, then there was me. All of my choices were undermined. All of my wishes were dismissed. I could not even have privacy in my own bedroom by locking the door because it stressed the kids to knock. After 20 years, I was done. Last fall, my youngest went away for school. I filed for divorce that week. We didn't have assets besides our cars. I walked away with nothing to show for, besides 2 kids that never thought about my side of the family as important. My ex claims that I blindsided her, and she didn't know I was unhappy. I asked her about what our constant ongoing arguments for the last 14 years made her think I was happy or satisfied about our marriage. I asked her what she thought it meant that I was constantly suggesting that we get counseling, both for ourselves and her for how she dedicate all her energy on the kids instead of us or herself. I said that when my dog died, I didn't get a new one because I knew that although I would be the one to care for them and pay all the bills, she would find a way to claim him during divorce. So I'm 41 and starting over. It took me no time to find a better job. The only thing keeping me in my old one was that I was home every night. Now I'm working in a different city, doing night shift, and making more money than I ever did before. I have a rescue dog I got the week I left. I'm walking home more, and I've met new friends in my neighborhood and at the dog park. My ex's family, her and our kids, think I'm the a hole for not communicating that I was unhappy and just leaving. I talk to her constantly about everything that was bothering me. The kids being allowed to come into the bedroom without knocking, her unwillingness to eat when I cooked my cultural food, and letting the kids not eat it too. How I had to attend events with my family alone because she didn't want to come, or let the kids come, plus a million other things. I've also started dating. She's amazing. Shelly is a teacher, never been married, 32. We aren't at the meeting family stage yet, but I've met a lot of her friends, and I'll be attending Easter at her house, where she's hosting for everyone who isn't going home. This is another problem, because I've moved on so quickly. It's really not. I had been checked out of our marriage for years. She's having a tougher time. She is not in the right place to date, and her priorities are the adult kids who do not live at home. I've seen a few posts lately that made me want to ask. I know how I feel. I know how she feels. I'm mostly estranged from my family, so I don't count their opinions. And the kids in her family have been clear about me abandoning her all this time. Am I the a hole for leaving as soon as I could after our youngest left? So this story is titled, Am I the a hole for choosing my job over my girlfriend? So basically, me, 26 male, broke up with my girlfriend, 21 female, because she gave me an ultimatum to leave my current job if I wanted to stay with her. I work on an oil rig on the North Sea in rotation, 2 weeks of work, 4 weeks at home. I make great money, and I've risen to a foreman there, and the company I work for wants to invest money in me to expand my qualifications. Besides that, I really like the job and I have a lot of perks and benefits. My girlfriend told me she can't handle being by herself those 2 weeks while I'm at sea. She told me she feels lonely and that it's too hard for her. I get that because I've been missing her too during that time, but it isn't really my problem to deal with. In my opinion, that is something she had to work through herself. So she wanted me to leave my current job and find something in the town we live in. I told her there's no way I'll leave that job because it's too good to pass up. There's no chance I would find another job that would pay at least half of what I earn now. So I chose to break up with her because she wouldn't back down with the demands. Am I the a hole? I wanted to clarify that I called her daily after my shift ended. Always spent as much time as possible together while I was home, and I've always been supportive. Edit. First of all, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Second, a few things I want to say. We live in a small town, but there's plenty to do. Besides, I encourage her to find hobbies or go out with friends. I even went to therapy to fix my trust issues and jealousy, so I wouldn't overthink and worry. The funny thing is that when we started dating, I was gone for 4 to 6 weeks at a time, and I worked my butt off to get to 2 weeks of work rotation. So I feel a little bit underappreciated and disappointed. Besides that, there was a shadow of a doubt I did the right thing. That's why I posted here. So, like I said, I really appreciate the support from all of you. This next one is titled, Am I the a hole for not letting my sister use my property as a wedding venue last minute? Throwaway, as my main is not connected to our business. Yes, it's a new account, but I don't want to link our business to family drama. Main account details are location, services, names, and business info. Putting it in bold so you guys can see. So, me and my husband own a library yard, and he's a riding instructor. We have students to ride at our property and people who pay to stable their houses here and use the facilities. Last year, my sister asked if she could use part of the orchard for a small wedding. I said I could square off an area for a while if she needed. She wanted 2 days, one for the wedding and one for her baby shower. I agreed under the assumption her demands would be reasonable. Now she's to get married in May and just messaged me what she wants for her wedding. No strangers/clients there, no general hustle and bustle around the yard, empty stables for some of her games, no horse odor around the venue itself, no horses around her/in background of pictures, access to indoor riding arena from main baby shower event. No kids on the yard as she wants a child-free wedding. I told her I cannot refuse library clients as they pay good money for unrestricted access, but I can ask them to keep clear of the event and box off our area. This goes for the kids too. We have kids stabling their horses here. I have no right to cut off their access for a day or two. I cannot send away all our grooms for 2 days. The horses still need to be cared for, and these people rely on their jobs. It's not fair on them. I can't eliminate the smell of horses. There are still horses living there. It's a stable. It will smell like a stable. I cannot remove all horses from the background of an open field. Again, they need turnout, and the clients pay for their horses to have access to the fields. Overall, I told her I'll keep people away from the main event and try to keep it as empty as possible, both with people and horses. But it's still an active business and cannot stop working for a few days. I don't want to let down a lot of our long term clients. Some have been with us for 10 plus years, and we rely on constant customers to stay afloat. We went back and forth between what was reasonable and what she wanted for a while. She then swore at me full volume in public and insulted both me and my husband. She then went to our mom and complained of being selfish and going back on my promise. Both her and my mom are pressuring me, or trying to, into letting her have her way. They say I'm putting money over her special day and not thinking of her. They're not tight on money. There are venues that can rent and have every one of their demands met. Is this a bad thing to do? I'm not trying to prioritize business over her, but I feel her demands are becoming a bit entitled, feeling torn as my family says it's her special day, and I should try to accommodate. And the others say it's my property and I have the right to choose. I know I'm going back on my word, but she changed some pretty big details. Thoughts? Edit. My sister and mother have decided to cut me off until I apologize and let her host. I'm not close enough with either to sacrifice our business. Her fiance reached out to apologize on her behalf. Tell me he wasn't aware she left it so short notice and acted like this. He's a great guy. Still not talking to them though. I can't lock this, but for now, all is resolved. I'm not hosting her, and I'm not talking to her or my mother right now. They've been told if they show up, we will not hesitate to get them done for trespassing. I just want to say thank you for all the advice, kind words, and replies. I likely won't be able to get back to each and every one, but I appreciate those who took the time out of their day to read this and comment. This story is titled, Am I the A-hole for not telling my housemates I'm moving out and taking everything with me? This is long. Apologies in advance. I've lived with my two friends in a house for 10 months, and around 3 months into this, a girl we don't know moved in to fill the last room. I was initially excited to have another girl move in, as my two friends are guys, so I agreed to her first when she moved in, but my excitement was quickly dulled, as her first words to me weren't hello, but what are your plans to clean this place up? This annoyed me immediately, as the place was in pretty good condition, but I explained the way we clean and tidy up, which happened to fall the day after she moved in. Showed her around explaining what belonged to who, what was communal, etc., and then let her settle in. But there was already problems the next day when we found out she had used various things of ours to cook, leaving dirty food and stains on our dishes and utensils. This happened a few times before one of my friends explained we didn't mind her using our stuff until she got her own, provided she actually cleaned it after. She then shouted at me for 15 minutes, even though I wasn't the one that even brought it up, and said I was trying to look good in front of the boys, who have been my friends for years. View the laundry list of issues we faced over the past 7 months. She uses the clothes drying racks 5 days a week, not accounting for the other three of us in the house. Still won't clean our dishes, has cracked the wood on our chopping boards using them as lids for hot frying pans, leaves her hair all over the bathroom and kitchen floor, uses all my freezer space leaving me with none, leaves the microwave and air fryer dirty, leaves pee and period blood on the toilet seat, and takes my pads, tampons, razors, etc. without asking. These are a quarter of our grievances, which we have tried to address, only for her anger to be directed solely at me. The house has never been in a worse condition, and her only solution is to complain at us for the mess, even though most of it is hers, then ask us to send her money to buy cleaning products, and then not help with a weekly clean. Me and my other two housemates have been looking for a reason to leave, and I just got a new job opportunity. So we took this chance to find a 3-bed flat to rent as a whole, and are moving in next week. The thing is that 90% of the things in this house are bought by us. We'll be taking the toaster, microwave, kettle, drying racks, air fryer, pots and pans, irons, hoover, and much more. Pretty much all our communication with her is now through me, as the boys refuse to talk with her for various other reasons. So I decided to not even bother letting her know and let her find out when A, she notices people coming for viewings, or B, the moving van arrives. We didn't expect her to buy things we already use communally, but she has maybe twice ever contributed to this household financially, so she can deal with buying her own stuff and learn to clean up her own mess. Am I the a hole for not telling her? Edit. It's a room by room renting situation. She will not have to leave or experience an increase in rent or bills, and the landlord is the person organizing viewings. Edit 2. I'm not worried about taking my things, obviously. I paid for them. The same goes for the boys. This is about the fact that she will not be aware that there will be next to no household basics or furnishings until they're gone. This one's titled, Am I the a hole for not sharing the profit I made from selling an investment property with my family? About 2 years ago, I bought something really cool, a one room schoolhouse in a town about an hour south of where I lived. I'm semi retired, so my plan was to do most of the renovations myself, and my wife and kids pitching in. I said that if they helped, we could do something as a family and make a profit. We could split any profits. My wife said she thought it was a stupid idea. Our kids said they didn't have the time to help. My son from my first marriage was the only one who pitched in. He and I went 50-50 on the down payment and all the renovations. His wife Paula and my grandkids all worked with me, making it into something special. All in, each of us put in $80,000 to purchase the building and our renovations. What we made sold for around $400,000 in January. We paid his kids $10,000 each and paid Paula $20,000. And after everything was said and done, we each got around $100,000 each. The money I invested was mine, not money from a shared account. My wife and kids didn't invest a single cent. But now that they found out that their niece and nephew and their mom made money and that their half brother made $100,000, they're pissed that I didn't share. My wife's upset that she isn't getting anything out of the deal. That's not true. I use my profits to take her on vacation. The majority will go into my retirement account. We had a family dinner last weekend and it was not cool. My younger kids said I should have cut them in a family project. My wife says I should have given her half my part. She also said I should give my two grandkids from our kids some money too. They are 6 and 8 and didn't help in any way whatsoever, not even taking out garbage. My other grandkids helped a lot, mostly with the yard. They earned their money. It wasn't a gift, it was a cut. In no way do I think I'm in the wrong, but my wife and two kids think I am. I need outside opinions, please. Am I the a hole here? This story is titled, Am I the a hole for refusing a wedding gift, knowing there will be strings attached? Hi everyone. I posted here a couple weeks ago and got some wonderful advice. A few people asked for an update and I thought I'd let everyone know what happened. It's not good. If you didn't see in my original post, my future mother in law offered us $25,000 towards our wedding, but I knew there would be strings attached to make the event her way. I thought maybe I was the a hole for overreacting or seeing something that wasn't there, but you all told me I was 100% correct. So I decided to have a heart to heart with my future mother in law, with my fiance attending too. I told her I miss the relationship we used to have, but it's become strained because I feel she's not respected the choices we have made for our wedding. I explained we aren't depositing the check until we have this conversation, and we're all on board about how we move forward. I know we didn't need to provide a rationale, we just required acceptance, but I thought it would help her to understand. The wedding size. I reminded her that my fiance and I are introverts, that we would be maxed out emotionally and mentally with 50 people, and quite frankly, we only want the people who have been a part of our lives to be there to celebrate with us. There's no need for childhood neighbors to attend. There's no need for distant cousins we haven't seen in 15 years to attend. Just the people who have been with us on our journey. The wedding gown. This is non negotiable. A bride chooses her gown, and I'll be choosing one that I can be comfortable being in. This is the first time I'll be wearing a dress since prom that reflects my personal style. It makes me feel beautiful, not anyone else's personal style. The venue. Okay, this is a bit cringe, but my fiance and I met at a speed dating event at a restaurant 4 years ago, and we hit it off, and here we are. Our absolute first choice for the reception venue was this place. Their event space will fit 50 max. We thanked her for her generous $25,000, but we would give it back if our decisions aren't respected. We asked if she has any expectations around any decision making that comes with the gift. My future mother in law cried and apologized and told us she just wanted everything to be perfect, and she said that she never had a daughter who she can play a normal motherly role in a wedding planning, that she was so scared that I'd leave her out of everything. So there you go. We had a resolution. We deposited the check and started to move from the spitballing ideas to confirming vendors phase. When I called the restaurant we wanted for the reception, the private function room was unfortunately booked out for a very specific date and we couldn't change, which was really sad. So we decided to start looking at other options. A few days later, I get a call from a wedding planner who proceeds to tell me that my future mother in law hired her to help with the wedding. I called my future mother in law and she explained that my fiance mentioned we lost our preferred venue and wanted to take some pressure off my shoulders and hired a wedding planner. She insisted the planning was just to do all the background admin tasks. Okay. I decided to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not sure why a wedding planner is needed for a small wedding or why they'd even bother taking the job. But if my future mother in law wants to spend her money on making things a little easier for me, that's fine. I met with the planner twice, described our vision for the wedding, and she said she'd put together some bookings to view venues, taste cakes, etc. Here's where everything hit the fan. The planner sent us a list of venues she's booked for us to see. We had a look online, and all the venues are large, like designed for 200 guests. We were confused, and when we went to the first appointment yesterday, my fiance joked that 50 people won't need this much dance room. The planner looked confused and explained that future mother in law contacted her last week to explain that we were considering expanding the wedding and would need a bigger space than originally planned. We got home and I called my mom and cried to her that this is just all too damn much and we are now considering eloping. My mom's spidey senses tingled and she called the original restaurant we wanted and was like, I'm calling about an event my sister's planning and she's so forgetful. I just wanted to confirm she's booked the private function room. It's for blank date and my sister's name is blank mother in law's name. It turns out my future mother in law had took the venue out from under us. She booked it and paid a deposit to secure it so we couldn't have it. I can only imagine she did this to slowly convince us to book a larger venue and host a larger reception. My fiance called her and tore her a new one. He told her she's no longer involved in any aspect of planning. We will not be working with her planner. All vendors will be password protected, and she's lucky she's even still invited, but will only be attending as a guest. No speech, no mother son dance. He told her if she interferes at all again, she won't even be allowed as a guest. We transferred the money back to her account. I told him I'm going no contact. I don't really want to hear from her, and I'll be polite on our wedding day, but I don't want drama. And then I'm back to no contact for good. He is 100% backing me up. This last one's titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my mom she's the reason my life is ruined? I'm 28 female, 5'7", and currently weigh 210 pounds. I've been overweight almost all my life, along with all four of my brothers and both my parents. We were never allowed to go out to play as kids, and since we belong to a middle class Asian family, most of our childhood was spent studying with zero physical activity and a lot of eating. All five of us have been on diets since we grew up, succeeding to lose weight at different levels. I developed a hormonal disorder called PCOS around the time I was 14. For those who don't know, PCOS makes it extremely hard for you to lose weight. I still managed to lose around 30 kgs at 21 to 24 years of age through extreme diet and exercise. I developed an ED towards the end of it. During that same period, my parents forced me into a marriage against my will. The marriage turned out to be abusive and horrible, just as I had known it would. But I got pregnant. I lost the pregnancy at about 4 months of gestation. I got very weak from it and was brought to my parents' house where I finally filed for divorce. I regained all the weight I had lost from trying to recover physically and mentally. I recently got remarried and have been trying to lose weight the healthy way. But with PCOS and all, it's been extremely taxing. I also recently got diagnosed with adenomyosis, which is also an extremely painful condition that I developed from a traumatic miscarriage. Last week, I visited my parents' house. While going through the closet for a dress, we were casually chatting about how my sister in law's parents got her the nicest dresses as gifts for her marriage. My mother took it as an attack on her for not getting me any nice dresses and snapped, saying, "Well, we didn't get you anything nice because you're just so fat. Women like your sister in law will be able to wear dresses for years to come, but yours will be unwearable in a year or two. Nice things are for fit people." I already hold a lot of resentment towards my parents for forcing an abusive marriage on me. It takes a lot of self control to still be nice to them. This comment just triggered something in me, and I told her it's her fault we're all fat and have been struggling all our lives. Unhealthy parents make unhealthy children, and you made us all obese. I said it's her fault I have PCOS and now adenomyosis, and my life looks like hell compared to my peers. Yeah, you just want us to die. We did so much for you, and you'll always be ungrateful, etc., etc. Everyone in my family thinks I crossed the line, but I didn't talk to her until we left. I cried a lot on my way home, too. Now I never want to go back, and I don't feel like I have any parents or home left. She expects me to apologize. Am I the a hole for telling her she made me fat? Thank you guys for watching and listening to the stories. Leave a like and comment and subscribe if you want more content. Thank you.